Well, Kevin, we're obviously only a few weeks away from your main event against Stephen Thompson. So how's camp been going for you?
Oh, man, it's been going pretty good. Smooth sailing. A lot more striking than wrestling. Happy guy.
You had to bring any specialists to train for Stephen Thompson? Because obviously when Tyron fought him and a few others, they've brought in karate guys.
No, I'm not doing that shit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm a Kung Fu black belt. Everybody's Kung Fu fighting. Nobody's doing the karate fighting. So we'll prove that.
Is there any sort of bragging rights between the karate, Kung Fu conversation that you can try to bring into this?
There has to be. You know what I mean? It's like, I win this, and they got to come up with Kung Fu Kid instead of Karate Kid. So I'm excited about it.
And what do you make of Stephen as an opponent now in 2022? Obviously, he's fought for the title in the past. He's had a couple losses recently.
Yeah, but he's lost to people who decided they wanted to grapple the whole time. You know, it's like people who decide they want to strike with him usually don't have a good night unless you're Anthony Pettis. I think I'm just as creative as Anthony, even though he's shown a lot of creativity inside that octagon, that cage. But yeah, against Wonder Boy, I just think there's only one way to go, and that's forward. You know, it's like if I'm backing up, you know, he's doing some things that he wants to do. If he's backing up, then he's probably still doing a few fancy ass moves, but I'm on that ass, Seabass. You know what I mean?
And obviously you do a lot of talking there, but Stephen's one of the nicer fighters in the UFC. So what can you say to him?
Casual conversation rules the nation. There's always something to talk about. You know what I mean? Pimping ain't easy, but somebody got to speak.
Then finally, can I have your thoughts on Daniel Rodriguez's last performance? Obviously, you wanted that fight after they fell apart, but then he came in there against Neil Magny.
Shit, man, if I'd have fought him, I'd have had 2 Darce chokes in a row instead of being a Darce choke and then a Darce choke finished. You know what I mean? So, yeah, would have been a tailor-made matchup for me. And Neil Magny was tagging him a lot, so I think D-Rod's one hell of a person, but when it comes to fighting, like I said, everybody's Kung Fu fighting. I knock his block off.
Kevin right here. I know the Wonder Boy was a fight you wanted even before the Chimaev fight happened. So what is it about this matchup that you like so much?
Stand-up fight, man. Stand and bang. And it's not really a stand and bang. It's just like a real technical stand-up fight. And you have to implement certain things to get to Wonder Boy and to have your way with Wonder Boy. And I plan on implementing those things. I plan on showing that I can, you know, strike with the best of them. And then, you know, yeah, it's just a very, very fun matchup. You know, talk about a guy who's fought for the title. Talk about a guy who's fought some of the best out there in the top of the weight class. Has been at the top of the weight class for a long time. So if you do want a name next to your, you know, number next to your name, you got to go through somebody like that. And I just want a number for striking. I don't care about that other shit. You know what I mean? It's like I got a OnlyFans, but you know, it's free, not freaky. So I wish they would quit trying to sniff my ball sacks every time I go out there and fight. You know what I mean? But hey, whatever wins the fight, they got to do it. So I just hope I smell good and not bad.
And I know, you know, coming off the loss, what do you feel like going against a name like Wonder Boy does for you? Do you feel like that will just bounce you right back into carrying the momentum that you had going into Chimaev?
You know what? Maybe it will just bounce you right back into having the momentum I had before, you know, Chimaev went out there and did what he did. But, you know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to that one fight, and then, we'll see what happens after that, you know? Yeah, thank you.
Kevin, to you, right? You just mentioned that Stephen has lost 2 fights in a row, and both guys went out and grapple him. You keep saying you want a stand-up battle, but why not just go and grapple him if that's an easy way to beat him?
There probably is an easy way to beat him. And I say it's an easy way to beat him, but the guy's never been subbed, you know, so that says a lot. But, you know, and I guess it's just a prideful thing, you know. Ego's a motherfucker, pride's a motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I got that, you know. Dude over there looked at me like, why is he cussing? I'm a cussing motherfucker. So, yeah, I just plan on going out there and having a good time. And to me, a good time is banging. I don't mind grappling, but to grapple the whole time is just not something that's just in me, you know what I mean? I won my first fight ever for MMA, grappling. I went home and cried like a baby because I felt like I fought like a bitch. So, yeah, it's not in me. I don't like it.
And this is obviously a main event, 5-round fight.
Yeah.
Do you prefer those extra 2 rounds?
You know what? Why not, man? You know, we don't get paid for overtime, but I keep signing up for it. So I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me, though.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Just over here.
Yes.
Hamza and Colby are rumored to fight.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that fight? How do you think that goes down?
Man, I hope it goes really smooth for both of them. I hope they both catch a dub and they both fight for the title next.
And okay. And of course, the title fight, the trilogy, is coming up. What's your opinion on Usman and Leon Edwards 3?
I got Leon winning that fight. Usman's a great athlete, great fighter. You know, I heard they took out his. He actually had a bigger role in Wakanda, but I heard they took it out because his role was him head kicking somebody, and then he got head kicked. So it was just kind of like one of those things where they didn't want to fucking do that to him, you know, mess with his head. So yeah, I think Leon gets it done again. Head kick probably, or probably a punch this time, maybe a submission. I don't know. He just gets it done.
Kev, right here in the back.
Yeah.
You said you're mostly interested in striking. Obviously, like it's a perfect matchup against Stephen Thompson, but all the guys ahead of him are mostly grapplers. What do you think is going to happen if you do beat Stephen Thompson and you have to face one of those guys?
Fight Jake Paul. I don't want to fight a grappler, bro. It's nothing against them. It's just if I'm going to do that, it's going to be a year from now. That means that's a lot of inactivity and it's a lot of time sitting around. So, therefore, that being said, like I said, fight Jake Paul, fight somebody who's not the greatest grappler in the division, or just simply retire again. And I do like sitting at home smoking weed and eating steak, so kind of hard to argue with that.
Thanks.
Hey, Kevin, back here.
How you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing, brother? So 23 wins. Obviously, you get 23 wins at the highest level for doing things exceptionally right. I mean, you're a black belt in BJJ, black belt in Kung Fu. I mean, like, since your last fight in September, is there any weapons that you add to your arsenal or anything in particular that you worked on?
I actually had got lazy with the wrestling. I was like, cool, I got a little better. Let's quit fucking doing it. So, Jamai proved otherwise. So now I'm just trying to see if I can wrestle at a faster pace. I can still wrestle at the same pace I was wrestling at before that fight. Now I just got to see if I can wrestle at a faster pace because he was really, really quick with his shot. So, got to get a little better in the wrestling department over and over and over again. It sucks.
You're still the man.
Thank you.
And personal assessment on Jake Paul fighting Anderson Silva. What was your assessment on that fight?
Everybody's saying it was rigged. I don't want to argue with anybody and say it wasn't rigged. I think the guy can box better than people realize. It's like, but I'm a fucking dog in big gloves. I've been sparring in big gloves my whole life. I used to get ready for the MMA fights in big gloves. I just barely started using little gloves. I mean, it makes a difference. I love big gloves. Those big gloves make a difference. They're really fucking fun to play with. Yeah, if you just don't know how to box, you don't know how to fucking box. Some guys, they just don't really know how to box. Nothing wrong with none of those guys. Before Silva went and fought Paul, he didn't have the best boxing record. Now he leaves it with an even worse boxing record. So it's like the guy's taking smart fights. Props to Paul. It's like I get in there and box with him. I know Dana doesn't want to say it. Nobody wants to say it. You can go to Main Street, you check my sparring rounds. You check my sparring rounds anywhere where I go box. I will knock that guy's block off. You know what I mean? I can box. I can box like a motherfucker. Yeah.
You're the man. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Kevin, one more over here.
Yeah, what's up, baby?
Did you get some sort of altercation with the manager at the PI or something like that?
What do you mean?
Someone told me that you said something on your podcast that there was some issue with someone.
You gotta check the podcast. Shout out to the podcast. I fucking love that shit. It's fun. It's really, really fun.
Kevin, just back here.
Yeah.
Your buddy Minicon is fighting next weekend. Do you think he's gonna get the W?
Who told you that was my buddy?
He told me.
Oh, don't listen to him. Training at the same gym doesn't mean you're buddies.
You guys don't get on?
I didn't say we didn't get along. I just didn't say he was my buddy. It's probably an associate or something like that. We train at the same gym. He's a cool guy, but not my buddy.
Do you think he's gonna win on Saturday?
Probably not.
Thanks, bro.
I mean, I hate to be like that, but I'm just being honest. I mean, dude's a really, really cool guy, but I think he should just stick to YouTube and not fighting. So, just being honest.
Thank you.
Yeah. Minicon's the YouTube guy, right? Yeah, for sure. Stick to YouTube.
Just because they got all the real questions out about fight and stuff. I just want to see who you're repping there. You got a nice chain on. I can't read what the symbol is and what's going on with the hat.
Damn, what hat is it?
Tell us what you're wearing.
This is the closet right here. I had to feel the material. This is the closet hat. My boys out in Houston, they do a good job of getting me a lot of phenomenal kicks. Same kicks you normally spend like $5K on. I can get them a lot cheaper. And they're real. So, shout out to my guys at the closet out in Houston. They'll actually be at my fight. I got the big mouth on my neck. Shout out to my boy Crizzy. He made this. My boy Crizzy actually made the whole set. He made this ring. He made this one. He made the bracelet. Just the big mouth set. I had to get it. Big mouth has made me a lot of money, so I had to support that alter ego somehow. Anything else? That's it? All right, guys. I'm going to watch this hooker fight. See you guys later.